and he goes by the name of Bobby K. And here's Bobby K. 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 What are you saying, Bobby? How you doing, brother?
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind, Mickey. Mickey. Guys, what a fantastic day. First off, great to see you. It's been so long since you two have been sitting in that studio after the end of a game. So hope you guys are well, looking sharp, big smiles on your faces. What an absolutely horrible game, but we won. And what a terrible display, but we won. Can't believe we let them in the game, but we won. That's all that matters. Where do you want to start off, fellas?
Where do you want to start off, my friend? You tell us where you want to start off.
All I need to say is that the two pump-ups I have done, we've won both games. Just saying.
So basically, if you don't come on the next pump-up and we lose, that's it. It's your fault.
Kind of shot myself in the foot there, didn't I? Yeah.
You have to do every pump-up now.
I'm changing my name to the Chocolate Charmer.
Wait, so Bobby, just to clarify, you think it was a horrible game and a horrible display?
Well, it's not a horrible display, but at the end of the day, we easily could have lost that game, drew that game. They had potential opportunities. Vicario came up big, massive, especially after the fact that he was facing some heat after last week's game, right? So he comes back, puts in a performance like that. The best part about Vicario's performance was Sonny got off the pitch, gave him the armband. Mm. I absolutely love that, to say, you know what, well done. You've led the team today. You've put in a performance today, and he did. They had at least three good chances that I can recall that they could have potentially put away if they had a finisher. And then, of course, the penalty that still hasn't landed yet.
Bobby, do you commend that way of playing, or do you feel like when you go down to 10 men, you should err maybe on the bit of the side of pragmatism? Do you think we got away with one today, or was it a deserved victory?
I think you got to pick and choose who you do that against, because we did that against Chelsea, and look what happened.
Yeah. This
is the team, obviously, I don't like putting a team down, saying they're lower quality or anything like that, because on any given day, any team can beat any team in the world. But looking at who they are, the league they play in, the quality of players they have, on paper, this should be an easy win for us. So this is the game I would say, if you are going to go for it, a man down, this is the one you go for. It's the first game in the group. Do you really need to go for it? Can you hold off for a draw? That just ain't Big Ange's style now, is it, baby? Got blazing all the way in. And it's one of those things that other people love it or they hate it. You know me, man. Always happy clapping along at the front of the choo-choo Ange train, man. I love it. Go for it. Guns blazing. If you're going down, go down under fire, man. Definitely go down. But I thought it was great. I really felt for Bergvall, though. That was sad. You know, you saw the poor kid, just the dejection in him when he was coming off in the 8th minute, you know. He knows that these are the games he's got to kind of get. He's going to get these cup games. He's not really going to get his chance in the league, I don't think, just yet, unless all of a sudden he starts impressing. But that was the only disappointing thing. Dragusin, I think he really didn't do himself any favors today or going forward. This was your opportunity against what's considered lesser opposition. This is your moment to shine, man. You got Mickey Van de Ven beside you. All you had to do is let that man go, run up the field, and just hold your line. But he got too far back, too far up, basically, got beat, and then drags the man down. And it was just a silly tackle. Yeah. You know, you had to watch the one going. You said it. It's clear red.
It was so is it all on Dragusin? Is there anyone else at play here, or you just put it fully on him?
You made the mistake. It's on you. At the end of the day, you can sit here and look at all the lead up and the build up to the mistake and everything, what ultimately happened. But he allowed that player to be in the position he was in. On the other side of him, he got turned, had to come back and tried to chase him down. He doesn't have the pace to do it, so he dragged him down. So at that point, you know, you could even sit here and say, well, what was how could the mistake have been corrected? Instead of you running at an angle and trying to get the guy, maybe run in a straight line back towards your goalie and cut off his shooting lane. There's 100 things that could have been done differently. Who knows? I'm not an expert at this stuff. All I know is he's the one that got the red card from the ref. Did it cost us the game? No, it didn't. So it's okay. Learn from your mistake. Okay, I'll give him a pat on the back. Say, don't you do it again now, young man. Get your shit together, okay? That's all that matters, man. But what a down a man. We just saw what happened on the weekend when we watched another team. We're not going to say who because I know you guys don't like when I swear on the channel. So we watched another team go down a man and play the most depressing half of football that's ever been played. Tactically, people would argue it was the right thing to do. You had a lead, you're holding on to the league, you're away from home, blah, 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 whatever. As a neutral fan, it was very painful to watch. This was the opposite. This was like a hockey game, man. It was just boom, boom, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's what was exciting about it. Anything could have happened at either end of the pitch. There's players that I think could have put in better things, but the one big highlight to me is, and I know me and Kate said it from the beginning of the pump-up show, that we're really, really wanting Johnson to put one in because we think that kid could just use that right now, and he did. And even when he was substituted, they showed him at half. And depending on what feed you're watching, I guess. And he was still smiling on the bench. He's laughing. He's having a good time kind of thing. You could just see the difference from when he walked off the pitch against Coventry. So good for him, man. Really, really happy for the kid.
Yeah, it's a good point as well because, for the beginning part of the season, I mean, from the Arsenal game, after the Arsenal game, a lot of people were questioning that front line that Spurs have with Son, Solanke and Brennan Johnson. Brennan's now scored 3 goals in his last 3 games. Dom Solanke scored 2 goals in his last 2 games. Are we starting to see that front three click now a little bit?
I think that's why he's stuck with them because eventually if you got to stop doing the chopping and changing things and let guys settle and start gelling, and it seems like this is the settled front three now. And I got no problem with it as long as they keep putting the numbers up. That's what we expect out of them. Now the anger and the frustration could be sent to the other side, to our dear captain, who, again, wasn't as impressive as we expect him to be. I called for a brace for him today. I went for a 4-0 scoreline and was hoping he'd get 2 and Solanke and Johnson with the other ones, right? So I'll take it. I got 2 out of the 3 scorers, right? So... right, so my first time in 1,000 bad predictions, but you got to keep letting them work together. You have to keep letting them work together. My concern more is actually which midfield combination is going to work. It was nice to see that I didn't have to rely on Madison to come on. We didn't need that kind of creativity. He went with Kulu instead, and I think Kulu, the fact that he continuously keeps playing him in the middle is what's needed. Why he pushes him out to the side, I have no idea. So, I don't know. I would have preferred to see more come on for Johnson instead of Kulu, and Kulu kind of go into the middle maybe. But with the man down, I guess things had to be changed, and we had to work however we could.
Talk to me about Solanke then. 2 goals in 2 games now for him. I know both tap-ins, so couldn't be easier. But in terms of like his overall play, even with the goal as well, you can just see what he's going to bring to the team, don't you? And I think he exactly, especially when we're down to 10 men, he was really vital today, wasn't he?
But that's the thing we've screamed for. How many times has the ball been played into the box and there's nobody there to tap it in? We've complained about that for the last few seasons. Richie seems to be a little, about a foot short sometimes. There doesn't seem to be another follow-up player, even somebody coming in making the run out of the midfield. So we see that not happening, and we complain about it. So now that he's scoring just tapping goals, I don't care if he uses his butt to tap the goal in. That's your job. Your job is to put the ball in the back of the net. You've done it 2 games in a row, so well done to you.
And Bobby, it's not just the goal scoring from Solanke, the work rate that he shows on that football pitch, running all over the place, dropping deep, winning the ball back, build up play. I mean, he puts in tireless work. You could see by 75 minutes he's just dead on his feet, can't you?
That, and you guys showed the heat map too in the previous show that he just had on. And I'm trying to think, the only place I didn't see him was in our goal box.
Yeah, literally. That was literally the only
honestly, from the half all the way up, you saw his work rate, and it's almost, should I dare say, Kane-esque, where he used to drop back quite a bit. Now he's not a provider yet, but he's got a bit more pace, so he gets his ass back up there, right at the tip of the line where he's supposed to be. So good, good work from him. He's doing pretty much, it looks like, what's expected out of him from Ange. This is why he brought him in. He had faith from him. He knew this is the kid that's going to fit this system and do the job, push for the money to be spent on him. They did, and he's got to keep doing this, man, and basically justify that high pay, that high transfer fee, sorry.
And another player that I want to talk to you about is Destiny Udogie, because I was loving his performance today. What a player this guy is. And, last 3 games now, after coming back from that injury, you're really starting to see him get back to full fitness. And I feel like the first 45 in Coventry, the Brentford game, and now this game, the performances seem to be getting better and better and better.
I agree, but I was a little bit disappointed with him today because I saw another thing that you guys had brought up earlier, and you said he had missed one pass, getting only a 97% pass rate. So, being East Indian, of course, and having an Indian father, why Destiny 97? Okay, so I'd like to see him improve that part of the game. Clearly, there's no reason to miss a pass at all. But like you said, he's been fantastic. He's quietly just doing his work. He gets out there, does the job. I think that the foul against him was nonsense. The penalty, for me personally, I don't think it was a penalty, but it was pretty soft. And he got carded for that, didn't he? Thought he picked up the yellow, didn't he?
It was Bissouma for the penalty.
Oh, Bissouma that got the penalty. Sorry, my bad. But okay, then in that case, Udogie, well done. I'll even forgive that one pass. Yeah, we'll let that slide. It's okay. We're not upset with him. But this is what we expect. We want our youngsters to come in, and right now we're in a position where we can't change our squad. So the only thing we can do is back these kids that we have and hope the younger players in our squad keep developing and pushing forward and getting stronger and better to support the more senior players in the squad.
So,
and he's doing that.
It's unbelievable, Bobby, that we're calling Destiny Udogie a kid, and I know he is by age, but he plays like a seasoned veteran, doesn't he? He's got such a big physique, such a big lad. Yeah. And I don't look at him as a kid, but he actually is.
Well, what is he, 21?
Yeah, exactly.
My kid's 18, man, so I don't look at him like he's a kid, right? Me, he'd be playing on my son's team, right? So that's when I look at these kids, even like Brennan Johnson, I'm like, it was painful to see the kind of abuse he got. Not the fact that he was just being abused from a football inside, but the personal attacks and the racial attacks and stuff like that. And it's like, that's not really necessary. But unfortunately, it's not a nice world we live in, especially with social media. So good for him for shutting it down and just concentrating on his football. For Udogie, like you said, man, he's playing above his years. And if he's going to continue at that rate, what a bonus for us. Could you imagine this kid's going to be in his prime by 23, 24? And if we can lock him up and have him for a good 5 years covering that whole side, beautiful. And Archie Gray, look how well he did.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you about.
He played in the midfield, right? He played right back for Leeds as well last season. I believe he won Defender of the Year or something, somebody was saying.
Last
year he won Young Player of the Year, I think.
Young Player of the Year. Okay, so showing his versatility, and this is, I think, also Ange trying to mold his players into kind of various position players, where he can rotate them and use them in different areas, kind of thing, or have them understand what that guy's job is, what the guy beside you's job is, kind of thing, so you can kind of transition over and cover when you need to, right?
So, Bobby, got our Europa League campaign to a winning start? Is it going to be? Is this the first step to glory? Are we winning it?
What are you talking about, man? The quad is on, baby! I don't want to be eliminated. The quad is on. You know that, fellas. You know that.
So, love a bit of Bobby K. Happy clamming.
Happy clapping all the way to the bank, buddy. Even after we lose, I'm still deluded and happy clapping. I know a certain person that hangs out in the Scotland Yard with me absolutely loves it.
Love it, Bobby. Love it, Bobby. Well, just to bring you down a notch on your happy clapping, with Son going off potentially injured today, if it is a significant injury and we have to side with Timo, are you worried about that?
Why you gotta go there? Why, fellas? Why? Why are you trying to rain on the parade, man? I know I wore black to the party, but I'm sorry. Obviously for me, I like pretty much, I think, every other Saints Spurs fan right now. I would call for more instead.
Yeah, so would I.
I would rather have Timo be the, if needed, sub. I don't want to start with him against United, and God forbid we have to rely on this youngster to come in and impact the game at a point where it could potentially already be gone, or we're in a real bad dogfight. I'd rather him start the game, kind of thing. And if we're going to rely on Timo, then have to rely on his experience in situations from previous games and give more of the run out, and let's see what this kid can do.
Yeah.
That's my personal preference, but we'll see what happens. It's all up to the big man.
All right. Bobby, thank you so much for coming on today. Thank you for the appearance on the pump up as well. And you can't stop joining the pump ups till we lose now. That's it.
You got it, boys. Just, can you talk to the FA and get some games put a little bit later? It's hard to get up sometimes. Huh?
Look, you've put yourself in this situation, Bobby. Now, no matter what time it is, you got to be there.
All right, just for you, but I can't say no to you, fellas. You've never said no to me, so you got it, boys.
It's not just for me, Bobby. It's for the whole Tottenham fan base.
Exactly. Taking on for the
then
team.
it's for you. I will be there for you.
Big up, Bobby. Thank you so much, man. We'll see you soon.
Great to see you, fellas. Have a great night. Come on, you Spurs.